Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jordan Cameron back with another video. What's going on, guys? So we just continue to see it. Bitcoin continues to rise off the 50 moving average band as stablecoin dominance continues to break down from our trend line, which was our short-term trigger. Total market cap continues to rise as it continues to follow the global liquidity chart over here on the Bitcoin price chart. All right, so let's jump on into the video today, guys. So just another update. Bitcoin continues higher since our last video on Tuesday. We've seen Bitcoin move from about the high 80Ks now to the mid 90Ks, and I think it's going to continue to rise here as it continue to climb the wall of worry with all the things going on, the Trump tariffs, right? We got people with a little bit of PTSD from all the good crypto news that did not cause price to go up. Instead, it caused prices to go down. People have PTSD as we continue to climb the wall of worry. But on this channel, we knew as soon as Bitcoin came back down to that 50 moving average band over here back in the end of February, we said as long as Bitcoin continues to hold that 50 moving average band like it did over here back in the 2024 consolidation and like it did down here back in the 2023 consolidation twice, we said as long as it held that range, we would hold, and we continue to be bulls. And it was dumb to be a bear as Bitcoin was heading into the 50 moving average band. And what do you know? Bitcoin hits, consolidates for about 2 months above that 50 moving average band and now has continued up. Now we came into the first major resistance point, which is the underside of this previous consolidation here in the low 90Ks. So, could we consolidate here for a couple of days? Absolutely. But our plan continues to be that Bitcoin comes up and makes a new high. It drags total market cap up to that 10 trillion level, which we'll talk about again today, as stablecoin dominance signaled our short-term trigger of the breakdown of this trend line here that was going on since January. And we're looking for this to come all the way back down to the range lows, at least down to this December low and March of 2024 low, which would cause this breakdown, would basically cause this breakup on the total market cap chart up to that 10 trillion point. And everything is playing out exactly perfectly, just to give you guys an update. So, just to go back, as we kind of go step by step here, right, our short-term trigger, early last week was stablecoin dominance breaking to the downside. Last time we saw that back in October, mid-October, right around here, we saw the breakdown on stablecoin dominance right here. And what that caused was basically total market cap from the middle of October to the highs. We saw total market cap go on at about an 87% run to the upside when we saw stablecoin dominance break to the downside. So once again, we saw stablecoin dominance break to the downside right here, just early this week. And that was our short-term signal to say, hey, we know, right, or we expect that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market cap is going to continue up for multiple different reasons, right? We're looking at our global liquidity chart absolutely blasting off to the upside. We know that Bitcoin typically follows that with a 2 to 3 month lag. And though we knew that we could consolidate above the 50 moving average band for a while, we said, okay, our short-term trigger for this move starting, guys, is a break of the stablecoin dominance trend line. And we got exactly that. And that was sort of the trigger for Bitcoin continuing to follow that global liquidity up to the upside. And I do believe that you see this global liquidity chart absolutely mooning. I do believe we're about to see Bitcoin do this exact move, which is basically going to drag up the whole cryptocurrency market up to that 10 trillion point. And sort of my base case and my base thesis for this, guys, and I know this once again sounds crazy, and it sounded crazy, even crazier, about 3 weeks ago when Bitcoin was sitting here at 75K, we continued to be a bull and say, Bitcoin's running the 50 moving average, guys. There's no reason to be a bear, right? It sounded even crazier down here. And here we are at 95K, and it still sounds crazy. But my main thesis for total market cap going up to the 4236 Fibonacci at 10.5 trillion, which sucks everyone in, and it's basically that, right? Every cryptocurrency bull market has that euphoria phase where it sucks everyone in. It sucks your grandma, it sucks your uncle, it sucks your cousin in, where it makes everyone believe that crypto will change the world. It makes everyone believe that cryptocurrency is the next tech, right? To the next crazy, where we see these crypto, altcoins be the next Googles, the next Amazons, and things like that. And though I do believe that will eventually come, probably after this .com bubble 2.0, which I think is going to come probably starting later this year, after we get this blow off top, that's probably going to come, and you're going to see some of these altcoins actually get used in the real world. But what I think comes first is the biggest bubble, right? Absolutely speculative bubble that's going to be caused by some type of altcoin or some type of massive breakthrough here for the cryptocurrency market. And it's going to push this market all the way up here to the top of this wedge that we've talked about in many, many different videos. We're not going to discuss it, too in depth here. You guys can watch our previous videos where I explained it, very, very in depth, why I think we're going up to this level. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat today. But it's going to suck everyone in. And what I know about this market is always that euphoria phase that sucks everyone in after everyone gives up. And I know right now, just kind of looking around the market, there's a lot of disbelief. There's a lot of people who just kind of given up and thrown, the cryptocurrency market, kind of away, right? And I think you got to suck all those people back in. And how you do it, obviously, first of all, is you need the king. You need Bitcoin holding that 50 moving average, which it did again, right? Bitcoin pushing up to new highs and getting that total cryptocurrency market cap being pushed up to new highs here. And that's going to suck everyone in. And that's going to cause the mania phase. And what comes after the mania phase this time, I do believe, because of, a bunch of different things, but I don't think the economy is as strong as people think. I think a lot of people don't have as much money as they typically do or typically have in the last, decade or 2 decades. And that's going to cause a massive bubble. But, what I know by that and, kind of looking at previous bubbles, 2008, right? 2000 is you see that massive euphoria phase before you see that bubble pop. Okay. And that's what I think we're about to get over these, over the course of the next, I'd say 6 to 12 months is that massive euphoria phase before that bubble pop. And, sort of our thesis and why that's, sort of our main play here. Not only just because, that's what we think, but just going based off the charts is, if we kind of just look at the stablecoin dominance chart, you guys can see that we've been in a massive range throughout 2023 and 2024, right? We've had 2 highs that topped out here between 7 and 8%. And you guys can see we just topped out there again. And we've had 2 lows down over here at 4%. What I think this is forming, and if you guys know anything about Wyckoff analysis, is what I think this is forming is basically us going down here and forming that third low. Okay, that third low, which either bounces from the low or actually takes out the 2 lows before coming back up, which is called the massive Wyckoff accumulation. And I do believe this is a massive Wyckoff accumulation for the stablecoin market. And this would be a byproduct of sort of this .com bubble 2.0 pop, where this comes down and people flee cryptocurrencies into stablecoins just for safety and also just for maybe the yield, maybe the 5%, 4 or 5% yield that you get from some stablecoins, right? So I do believe this is in a massive Wyckoff accumulation, and you guys can see that we have already started that move down. I do think this is just the beginning of this move down. I think we arguably are only like a fourth of the way through. I think we're about to see a massive move down on stablecoin dominance, which is going to cause a massive move up on total market cap over the next, like I said, 6 to 12 months. And it's going to suck everyone in. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday's video, guys. As we continue to move up, right? As Bitcoin continues to move up, right? As we always know, Bitcoin should be your biggest holding. As Bitcoin continues to move up, guys, the higher Bitcoin gets, the more bearish you should become. You should not become more bullish as price moves up. You should have been a bull here, okay? And if you weren't, well, next time, learn, right? Learn the 50 moving average bands. And as price comes up, the more bearish you should become and the more you should be taking profits and not becoming more bullish on the move up, right? We did a really good job in this channel. And, you guys in the comment section, really kind of impressed me not getting too bearish in here, okay? A lot of people did. If you look at stock market data, it was the most bearish sentiment in the history of the stock market, okay? But a lot of you guys were good down in here in the 50 moving average band. Now that we did the good thing is we were bullish at the 50 moving average band. As price moves up, we take profits, right? And especially in the altcoin market, as it is super volatile nowadays and price pumps are very, very hard to sustain. As total market cap moves up, if we just kind of zoom in here, we have a pretty good weekly candle close here. That's going to come up here on the total market cap chart if we close like this. But as total market cap comes up, you guys can see this move is very, very small so far. But if we do see a move up, though, it's arguable, some of you guys will argue we won't get to that 10 trillion point. It's not even about that. If you've been accumulating crypto, anywhere in here, or even on this last dip, as price starts to move up, remember guys, the more higher price gets, become more bearish. Do not become a bull as price moves up and thinking that cryptocurrency is going to change the world. Think that when no one wants it, right? And I guarantee you, as price moves up here, if price moves up here, and we start taking out these previous highs, everyone and their mother is going to become bullish. And that's when you should be starting to ladder out. My plan is, as price continues to move up, I will continue to ladder out of this market. I will not wait for 10 trillion, though I do believe we're going to get there. I will not wait for that. I will just ladder out of this market, right? As the sentiment becomes more and more bullish, as my family members start talking about crypto again at Thanksgiving, right? At Christmas, okay? I will be laddering out as those people kind of ladder in to the market, right? And they always ladder in at the wrong times. They're not laddering in here, I'll tell you that. They are not laddering into stuff at this region, but they will as we start to break into new highs, okay? And I continue to stress, we did a really good job. The first step was being confident to be bullish at the 50 moving average band. That was the first step, right? Ignoring the tariffs, ignoring all that stuff, being bullish when everyone's bearish. That's step number one. The hardest part is as price moves up, okay? And it's not gonna move up in a straight line, guys. So if we get a little pullback here, that's fine. Like we said, we're at the first major resistance for Bitcoin. But as price moves up here, all right, don't get sucked into the narratives. Do not get sucked in to everything is rainbows and sunshines, okay? Do not get sucked into that narrative, okay? Be more bearish as price moves up, okay? Because all the people that were bearish here because of tariffs, right? Because of no good crypto news is pushing up price, so that equals bearish. All those same people will be major bulls up here, okay? Wherever we go, right? Back to the highs, 120K, 140K. All those people will be major bulls. That were major bears here, they would be major bulls up here, okay? And you want to be opposite of that crowd, okay? So as Bitcoin continues to climb the wall of worry, as global liquidity has absolutely skyrocketed over the last 2 to 3 months, okay, there really should be no wall of worry because we know that Bitcoin follows global liquidity with a 2 to 3 month lag. We know that Bitcoin is holding the 50 moving average band. We know that stablecoin dominance has broken a major 4-month trend line to the downside. And we know that total market cap has held the 50 moving average and the previous all-time highs. So we continue to be bulls and we continue to look at now as Bitcoin approaches the 100Ks again, getting ready to take profits, okay? Getting our take profit levels. And I don't even believe, in my personal opinion here, guys, as Bitcoin continues to move up, Bitcoin gets into the 100Ks. I think that's 100Ks, mid 150K, something like that. Great time to take profits on Bitcoin. But I really don't even think a lot of these altcoin moves have started yet. I think we're very, very early in the altcoins. And that is not the popular sentiment now. The popular sentiment is not that whatsoever. Bitcoin dominance is at a new fresh high. It could continue to push up, but I do believe that a lot of this move up for total market cap will be the altcoin market. And I've stated that since last year, is I think there's going to be some narrative that gets everyone bullish on the altcoin market, and that's going to push up prices. So that's today's video, guys. Continuing to just look forward and continuing to just have patience here and letting the chart play out. If we come back to the 50 moving average band again for whatever reason, right? We don't get bearish at the 50 moving average band. We be bullish at the 50 moving average band until we get a confirmed close below. Okay? That's that. That is that. I think it's that simple, right? So as we continue to look forward here, I think we got a lot of fun things to come, but obviously as the more fun this market gets, the more worried that we have to get. Okay, so enjoy it now before the market gets too fun, because when the market gets too fun, that's when I'm going to start getting worried. And that's when the tone of this channel is going to be very optimistic, right? Right now, I'm very optimistic about this market. I think this market is going significantly higher, but the tone of this channel will change a lot the more I see more and more people starting to talk about crypto again, the more I see people starting to talk about altcoins again, the more family members I have asking me about crypto again, I will become a nervous wreck, and I will be screaming at the rooftops, guys, the time to be bullish was then, aka the last 2 months. We got to start being a little bit worried. But I think before that time comes, we have a hell of a fun time coming here at the cryptocurrency market. But just know, when everyone else starts having fun, I will be becoming a nervous wreck and taking money out of this market. All right. So, guys, I promised you guys a live stream this week. I said I wouldn't tell you which day it's going to be. Well, we look around. There's only one day left of the week. So I'll be going live with a live stream tomorrow morning. Okay. So get in here for a Saturday morning live stream. We'll drink some coffee. We'll hang out. And we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth. And I hope to see a lot of you guys in the chat after a good fresh break from live streams. I want to start doing like I said, 1 to 2 live streams a week again. I enjoy making the videos, but I think 1 live stream a week at least is needed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on there, probably around I'd say like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll see you guys then. If I don't see you, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, everyone have a great day. Peace out, much love, and let's get these gains. Later.